lineup. If Montreal advances, they may have something available next week.
No second down. Crompton sets up. May have got hit, and it is intercepted. Back the other way. Cord Parks comes up with the football, and Parks gets away. And finally brought down by Brandon London. So they trade now interceptions here in this first half, as Crompton looked like his arm was hit as he released the football. And Parks, who had one during the regular season, has a postseason interception.
Well, the least talked about of the linebacking core for the BC Lions, Josh Johnson gets his hand on the throwing arm of Jonathan Crompton here. That causes the issues. That's where the ball floats and is picked off by Cord Parks. Now immediately Jonathan Crompton went to the locker room to get attended to by the training staff, and Alex Brink is right now warming up on the Alouettes sideline.
Keep our eyes on that. Right now, however, Lions back to work on offense, and here's Logan, able to duck under that first wave and surge ahead for 4. Bottom of the pile, John Bowman with the tackle. So Alex Brink starts to warm up. It was a 2-quarterback system at the start. It changed in Winnipeg in Game 8 when Crompton claimed the job, but Brink may be called back into duty here today. 2nd and 6. Here comes the pressure over the middle. Logan can't make the catch. Bear Woods was in the area, and Logan bobbles it, and on cue, Jonathan Crompton returns to the sideline.
Yeah, he just went in to get some adjustments made and came back out, warmed up again, loosened up. We'll see Jonathan Crompton back in there. Job by the BC defense on the sudden change after the interception by Kevin Glenn in their own end to hold Montreal 0 points on the sudden change.
McCallum first punt with the wind at his back. Gilliard at his 35. High steps it back on the near side, but there is a flag that is likely going to negate a good return up around the 53. 41-yard punt, 18 on the return. But this one is coming back.
During the return, holding, Montreal number 36. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Daryl Townsend back in the lineup, good special teams man who is flagged. So Duron Carter and the Owls going back on offense. Matthew Shinetti with an update on Carter when we come back. All-star season for Duron Carter, the beneficiary of Hall of Fame advice. And with more, here again, Matthew Shinetti.
Absolutely, CC. You know, it pays a lot to have a father like Hall of Famer Chris Carter, who tells his son, listen, to be great, it's about repetition and focus. And this season, no one in the Alouettes questions Carter's focus or his maturity or his work ethic. But Carter admitted to us yesterday that the game is slowing down for him a bit, but he's still thinking when he's trying to catch the ball. But his father always tells him, when you're catching the ball and the moves are robotic, that's when you know you're at the top of your game. Guys?
Well, he and S.J. Green, the last 7 games of the year, got hot.
Well, it's muscle memory, and that's what he's talking about. If you're going to go and make one-handed spectacular catches in a game, if you expect to do that, then you have to do it in practice too and get your body used to the movement that is necessary. So that's the advice from Duron Carter's father, Chris, and boy, he's had a great season.
And don't let that drop bother you. Would have been a tough catch, but one we've seen him make countless times. Hand off inside, and there's Chris Rainey, the other Alouette running back on the roster today. Rainey out of Florida has seen action in the last 5 games. He's the scat back. Rutley a little more north-south for the Alouettes on their attack, running the football. Rainey, the MVP of the Gators in 2011, part of a NCAA championship team in 2009. 2nd and 3. We'll give it back to Rainey, nothing doing. Eric Taylor with the stop at the line of scrimmage.
Again, with those two drops, Jonathan Crompton in the first quarter had much better numbers. I think he looks real calm for his first start in the playoffs. I asked Mike Benavides about how he would attack and approach Jonathan Crompton in that it's his first start. He said, you know, I don't think you can rattle him. Played in some big games in college football. And
39 starts at Tennessee. 2 for 6, but a pair of drop are. Sean White wants the understudy to Paul McCallum. Fielded at the 25 by Brown, and he is brought down right away. Dominique Ellis has the special team tackle after a 35-yard punt into the breeze. Still 1-0 Alouettes.
Something good just
Tackling hunger across Canada check, and the Purelator people know an important stat when they see one, because the 3 teams that didn't make the postseason, Toronto, Winnipeg, Ottawa, the 3 bottom teams on that list.
yes, sir, getting after the quarterback or protecting the quarterback, key to winning.
Sacks up 1.2 a game this year. Here's Logan on first down. And he runs into traffic as Gabriel Napton back in the lineup after missing the last 3 with a knee injury. We'll see him in spot duty today.
Yeah, not sure how much he'll play here this afternoon, but they want to get him back into the rotation. The nominee for outstanding rookie for the Montreal Alouettes.
Sacks, 1 against the Lions. And they'll pin their ears back here on 2nd and 8. Glenn gets it away quickly and incomplete in the flat, and Mitchell White, the corner, was lurking there. The pass intended for Kito Pobla.
I'm going to have to kick it away, and it was a great battle between Gabriel Napton and Javon Olafiore on that last 2nd and long. And watch the tackle against rush end here. Try to make an inside move. Olafiore gets some help. Logan sneaks under and in between them, and he keeps Napton right on the line of scrimmage. A little playoff football in the trench is going to get fired up. Gabriel Napton coming out next series.
A right cross at the end of that. So the defensive duel continues. Not a deep kick. Gilliard going to step right to midfield before he's brought down by Keenan Parker. Like this time, it's Jonathan Crompton and the Owls. Great field position.
Well, they've been chipping away at that field position so far in this game. Quarter and a half played, and they're starting to move the ball. Now every time there's an exchange of the punts, getting a little closer.
That was a gamble that Mike Benavides took in this game, leaving Ricky Schmidt at home. There's Ryan Dinwiddie calling the plays upstairs. And this offense all started to gel when Jeff Garcia joined the offensive brain trust. Crompton steps up, and he gets tripped up by Elamivian as he crosses midfield.
But a good decision. A good decision by Jonathan Crompton. And that was a question I had for both Jeff Garcia and Crompton, was about trying to be patient and make sure you don't force things if it's not there. Solomon Elamivian is going to make the tackle here. He's coming on inside stunt, and then he's going to break off of that tackle from behind. But a good decision by Crompton not to force it. The coverage was good downfield. Garcia told me yesterday, he just, if anything he can get to Crompton for this game was be patient. Take what they give you.
2nd and 8. Here comes Heat. They'll dump it off. And it's Rutley. Cuts it back. Breaks the tackle. And has a first down on the 40-yard line.
There's an example of that north-south running that Tom Higgins said that he liked about Brandon Rutley. He gets him outside on this little delayed screen, and Rutley doesn't take much time at all to get him his pad level heading down north-south and heading downfield to just a little screen. They get Christian Matt out in front of him.
So first down at the BC 40, into the hands of, or fake the Rutley, and a completion high pit.
It got me
S.J.
too.
Green's got the catch.
Yeah, it got me too. That's great play action fake by Jonathan Crompton to ride it there and then pull the ball late in the process, and it was well executed. Just ride and decide, hold Kareem Smith, the defensive end, buy yourself an extra second and get the throwing lane to S.J. Green.
7 for Green, 2nd and 3. There's that fake again, and another completion to Green. Catch is made just inside the coverage of Dante Marsh.
835 yards in the regular season for S.J. Green. He got that drop out and the jitters out in the first throw of the game, and now he's made a couple of contested ones. This is a nice matchup. Duron Carter is trying to pick on Dante Marsh. Marsh cuts underneath, is in pretty good position, but S.J. Green battle.
In the last 7 games, Green had 517 yards receiving. Carter had 520.
2 tight ends.
As they both improved their stats with Crompton. There's Carter down to the 20. Short gain for Duron Carter on that hitch.
Different formation offensively for Montreal. It's Ryan Didwitty and Jeff Garcia mixing things up. They go with a tight end, double tight end set there. Crompton on the hitch screen, and I believe it's just another way to get the ball in the hands of their stars. That's back-to-back catches now for Green and then to Carter.
And 3 for 3 on the drive for Crompton, who will try to extend the drive here. 2nd and 8. Looks downfield, and that's intercepted at the goal line. There is a flag, and this one likely coming back. Adam Bighill with the interception, but there makes interference in that secondary.
S.J. Green was trying to get in there on a dig route, and he's being covered by Cord Parks. And Cord Parks is arguing his case, but I think that's going to be the call.
And there's the spot.
Pass interference. BC number 26. Point of foul. Automatic. First down.
Let's have a look, because I believe the Lions have already challenged the call.
S.J. Green trying to run this dig route here. You see the jersey come down. He trips down, and because Cord Parks never really let go of him, I'm not sure Mike Benavides can win this challenge.
The Lions might argue that it's just one hand on his back there, and did S.J. Green just slip on the play?
I'll give you another look at it here. You can see him pull down the jersey right.
BC is challenging the call of pass interference. We'll review the play.
And because Cord Parks never lets go, he didn't have to have pushed him to the ground. He could have tripped on his own, but Parks never let go of the jersey. I'm not sure Benavides can win this challenge. Again, for the first time ever, defensive pass interference can be reviewed in the Canadian Football League.
And the reason we have challengeable pass interference this year is because of a play in the Eastern semifinal a year ago in Guelph that involved the Alouettes in the final play of the game. Troy Smith looking into the corner. No pass interference. The Alouettes felt there was, and
After review, the call is on the field is confirmed. Pass interference. It'll be a first down.
That's why we can review the big push, the final push. It's been talked about for about 5-6 years now. But the final push was because of that playoff game last year, and the call on the field confirmed. Interference on Cord Parks.
had it been last year, it would have been 1st and goal at the 1 with one more play, and the Alouettes might have advanced. Right now, 1st and goal, end zone, touchdown, S.J. Green. First playoff touchdown toss by Jonathan Crompton.
Crompton, nice job. Touch pass up over the top to S.J. Green, who beat a double team, basically split both Cord Parks and Dante Marsh to get to the corner of the end zone. Yeah, I don't think Coach use this new rule. The ability to challenge defensive pass interference, I believe, is here to stay.
4 touchdowns in the regular season for Green. First touchdown of the East Semi. Catch a 7-play, 55-yard touchdown drive. And Crompton
watching this. He's going to turn up.
Was 5 for 5 on the drive, working Green against Cord Parks.
Well, I love how he worked with Deron Carter, too, his teammate. Carter's going to come in here, and then he's going to get nice and tight with S.J. Green, and Green splits it and heads to the corner of the end zone, and Parks is kind of frozen when they get in there tight. There goes on the split in between Dante Marsh and Cord Parks. Ball just touch pass up over the top to S.J. Green, and again, that was the pass interference call, Parks, that gave Jonathan Crompton one more try.
Good look at the eyes of Jonathan Crompton. Going to S.J. Green in the corner all the way for the first major of this Eastern semifinal with 5.5 minutes to go in first half. Tim Brown. And he'll be stopped just across the 30. Nicholas Boulay, first man to get to Tim Brown. Now Kevin Glenn's got to get this BC Lions offense in gear.
Well, Kevin Glenn established the run in the first quarter. First 7 plays, running plays to Stephon Logan. So he's got that done. Can't abandon it now because they've given up a major. But at some point, he's got to get Manny Arsenal or Ernest Jackson, the 2 big, tall targets for him in the receiving corps, down the field and take a shot. Try and loosen up the Montreal defense a little bit.
Double tight ends. Fake to Logan on a roll. Dumps it underneath to Gore with a flag in the secondary. Chip Cox was out there against Ernest Jackson. Not sure if that was the area of concern for the officials.
Illegal contact. Montreal number 17. 10-yard penalty. First down.
That's Billy Parker.
Yeah, he's on the matchup on Manny Arsenal here, and Arsenal is going to just try and run right through him. Parker steps, contacts him. The initial contact right there is okay, but he hangs on to it too long.
Well, there's a change of pace here. We've got Travis Partridge into the game. Travis Lulay available. Thought we might see him next, but it's Partridge, and he'll keep. So a design play for Partridge to run for a first down at midfield. And that's probably not a play you're asking Travis Lulay to make today.
No, absolutely not. Or Kevin Glenn, for that matter, who runs a little bit, will use his legs to extend the play, but is not going to run the quarterback draw very often. And clearly, this is a design play to Travis Partridge. Fake that he sort of, about a half a fake to Tim Brown, and then design run right up the middle.
Saw Tanner Marsh, similar play in the first quarter. Now Glenn checks back in, first down at midfield, and he delivers high again. Intended for Arsenault, and Mitchell White there on the corner.
That's what I'm talking about this secondary. Billy Parker and Gerald Brown at the halfback spots. I'm watching them climb up on receivers and get a little closer. So was Mitchell White on that last throw, the corner to the wide field. As long as Kevin Glenn keeps throwing it underneath and intermediate, that secondary and those halfbacks will get tighter and tighter as the game goes on. Pretty soon, they got to get those guys deep in Manny Arsenal and Ernest Jackson.
7 consecutive incompletions for Kevin Glenn, including an interception. Throwing here, and he's got a completion. Ernest Jackson the catch. Offensive Player of the Month in October when he had a 195-yard game and a 149-yard game. Ottawa and Winnipeg in consecutive weeks.
Well, he's gonna fight through the from Winston Venable, the linebacker, and then work in behind him. That's basically a zone defense. Linebacker tries to jam the receiver at the line. He works in behind him and in front of Gerald Brown.
Number 9 was 9th in receiving this year. Sets up a Lion first down at the 34. And here's Tim Brown. Big hole for Brown. Crashing down to the 23. And a Lion first down at the 3-minute warning. So the Lions finally getting some traction on offense. Partridge will run, a catch for Jackson, and a Brown first down.
The Metaltech telescopic ladder adjusts for any height. Safe and stable, it's great for interior and exterior use.